Michael Bloomberg and his billions of dollars have put the full court press on the Second Amendment in the last couple weeks. Today is no different. Yesterday, his multi-million-dollar group, Everytown for Gun Safety, made another attack on the Second. If you don't know what it is, you're going to want to watch the next episode here of Guns and Gadgets. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time here, or if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to think about it, because stuff's happening against the Second Amendment more often than you can shake a stick at. And one of the ways to stay on top of it is by watching this channel. All the news, Second Amendment related, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, will be right here on Guns and Gadgets, quicker than most anywhere else. So, with that said, let's talk about Michael Bloomberg. Everytown for Gun Safety is his baby, along with Moms Demand Action. However, yesterday, Everytown petitioned the ATF to change the way they rule on 80% lowers. An 80% lower has 80% more aluminum in this. It is just a paperweight, similar to my Magic Trackpad. It is aluminum. This is not a gun. Okay, remember that. But that doesn't change the way that Michael Bloomberg wants to eliminate your ability to turn an 80% lower into a firearm, just like the federal laws say you can. Now, what Bloomberg's group wants to do is to make sure that said chunk of aluminum is serialized and also transferred via a federally firearms licensed dealer. What's totally different than what's done now, because a chunk of aluminum is a chunk of aluminum. In a 23-page petition to the ATF, they said this: the ATF can immediately start the process to correct course and has the authority to do so on its own. Really? ATF doesn't make law, right? Well, you might remember this channel, amongst many others, we're talking about how dangerous the Donald Trump bump stock ban was by administrative fiat, and how things could be turned on edge by an anti-gun group, or an anti-gun president, or an anti-gun legislature, all of which is happening. And the Bloomberg group even addressed that. They said they can do that without direction from the White House, the court system, or Congress, just like how they reclassified bump stocks and changed the way they saw them and made them a frickin' machine gun, a piece of plastic by administrative fiat. Now, Everytown for Gun Safety even is so bold to submit language that they would like to see the ATF use, because it's par for the course for them. And basically what it says, well, first off, I'll read you the ATF's definition of a frame or receiver. It is that part of a firearm which provides housing for the hammer, bolt, or breech block and firing mechanism, and which is usually threaded at its forward position to receive the barrel. However, old Bloomberg and his stinky britches, they want to remove everything after housing 4. So they want this to be inserted. So this will be the new definition under the Bloomberg petition. Firearm frame or receiver. That part of a firearm which provides housing for the trigger group, including any such part that is designed, intended, or marketed to be used as an assembled operable firearm, or that without the expenditure of substantial time and effort can be converted for use in an assembled operable firearm. Now, according to the Bloomberg definition there, it does not take, let me use his words, the expenditure of a substantial time and effort to create a 100% receiver out of an 80% lower. Now, I don't trust myself enough to mill, because one mistake and you ruin it. To me, it would be, what's his words again? The expenditure of substantial time and effort. So, I guess it comes down to how the ATF is going to interpret things, and you all know it's not going to be on our side. Now, of course, there are going to be intended, unintentional byproducts of this. First off, your FFL is going to charge you money to transfer your 80% lowers, should this be done by the ATF. Also, the intended, unintentional byproduct of this ruling would be the aftermarket area would be affected. Slides, barrels, internal parts, trigger housing groups, and uppers. All the things that people legally purchase to build their lawful firearm for their own personal use. Also, lowers are cast from raw materials, and there's no regulations on that part of the process. But every town is going after that as well, that manufacturing process. They want regulations put on it. They also want extra costs put on it. And who do you think that's going to be put back on? Us. That also will have an effect on every rifle that uses a lower, because all costs are going to skyrocket. Backdoor gun control, trying to affect the people who can't afford that stuff. If somebody's a struggle to buy an AR and we add a couple $100 in fees because of materials and the manufacturing process, it's going to try to make it impossible for you to purchase a gun. Also, the Bloomberg definition change could spell treacherous areas for the new wave of firearms and the new cool kid on the block. And I'm speaking of the modular firearms, because under this Bloomberg ruling, if you say have a SIG 320 frame and you change it to an X carry, you have two frames, or say you have a mid-size frame on a firearm and you want to put on a large size frame, use that modularity of it. Well, each one of those frames is going to be considered a firearm under the Bloomberg thing, and it's going to get really ugly really quick. So I thought you should know what's going on with Michael Bloomberg. Even though he's trying to run for president, he's still going after everything that we consider wholesome, all of our rights, our Second Amendment rights, given to us by the Creator, recognized, not given to us, recognized by the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And this guy thinks that it's his spot in the world to take it away from us. We'll see, Mike. We'll see. So what do you think? Do you think that this will be successful? Do you think the ATF has heard us regarding the bump stock ban? I don't think so, because it's still banned. But one of the cases are still going forward with that, thanks to Gun Owners of America and others. But now they're going after the 80% lowers in a way that they're banking on will be successful. The ATF flipped the switch on the bump stocks thanks to the president and his demands. Now will they do the same with 80% lowers? We'll see. Please pass this along. I'd appreciate it if you would. Until we see each other again, this is Jared from Guns and Gadgets. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry your weapon. Take care, everybody.